which we're thrilled about. I certainly don't want to not have to go after what's left and what do we do now. And so we're hopeful that this will continue along and it will add to our, University Drive corridor that contains wonderful additions that we call Midtown. What else you have, Jason? Next. Okay. Caloos. We have been waiting for this forever. It is still going in where the old macaroni grill was. They had some reciprocal parking agreement issues with the back hotel back there. But that's all been resolved and they are moving forward and we're super excited to have them out here. Okay. This is Plantation Midtown Square. This is the old American Express property at Pine Island and Cleary. So this is a true mix of retail and commercial. They have they're gonna do this in phases, but which has been approved by council. But now Pulte is coming in for one piece that they'll take separately for some townhomes, which are fee simple versus rentals. So we're thrilled that we're including those in the projects as they are submitted to us. Okay. Who is Lakeside? And this is fairly close to the American Express site. And this is exactly what the building looks like there. And it really is lovely. The landscaping and exterior finishes are great. And they're very, very close to the CO. So we're excited about that. The Palms of Plantation. This is an assisted living facility on the corner of State Road 7 and Peters Road. They have resubmitted a couple times, one to increase the dementia component of this. So this is submitted by a reputable builder and we're real excited for them to get started. 311 residential Alexa. This is along State Road 7, just north of Broward Boulevard on the western side. And I will say that in all the years I've watched projects come in, this is one of the nicest as far as exterior elevations. And of course, and I don't think it's in here, but across the street, you know, I think you do have that in there on the Chase Bank. I'll wait for that. So one portion, the initial portion is partial CO'd, and they've got a list, a waiting list to get in, which always pleases us. So who else? Plantation Point. Oh my gosh. This is the corner of University Drive and Sunrise Boulevard, the former Motorola property. This builder came in and did things in phases, but always pre-leases things. And they have done an amazing job, Magic Leap is here. We've got some medical tenants in here. And so we've got really strong, consistent people that we believe will stay the course and continue in the city. What else do you have? Oh, here we go, the Chase Bank. So this Chase Bank is in the corner of Broward and 441 where the Pancake House used to be. So given the Alexan project across the street, they have now come back, the owners, and have indicated that a small Aldi's would also like to come into place here, as well as a national tenant that they wouldn't tell us yet. So That State Road 7 corridor is coming to life. Thank you. We recently did a Burger King in there and a Wawa at the corner, which has been extremely successful. Our West Side Regional Medical Center, which is an HCA facility, they've converted some rooms, they've added private rooms, but they've also added some educational components to the hospital, which will complement the new hospital going in Davie. So, and this was CO'd in November of 20. And Baptist Health, what a beautiful facility. I got my COVID shots here, had never been in here. And they did an awesome job. And this was also CO'd in November of last year. So they are, I don't know, we've just been very, very lucky. But of course, we're careful. So there's some additional development here, but right now we have over $1 billion in projected development value, of which we are extremely grateful for. And I can't, of course, 1.2 billion estimated improved value. We'll see what Marty says when he looks at all the properties, but I'm hopeful. We've done a really good job of trying to make sure that the submittals fit with the city, as I'm sure all cities do. What else you got? So challenges, the COVID-19, while I am super optimistic, I'm always very reserved and conservative as to how we spend our money, what's around the corner. Of course, attainable housing is a big issue on everyone's plate. Our traffic, we're looking at our Midtown Bridge. We have a partnership with the MPO, of which I'm on that executive board. County surtax program, we are exploring everything. I can't change the traffic, but I can help manage the traffic. And that's the important part of exploring everything that is out there. And that's it. I mean, geez, it seems like we do so much every single day. And, you know, as well as our regular services, we're, which the city, again, during COVID has just pivoted, and our folks have been amazing. So I think that's about it. I'm sure you have some questions. Oh, look, you can see Jason in the back table there in the red shirt. So what can I answer for you? Anything?
Mayor, it looks like we were able to answer some of the questions during, and I know they'll continue to come up. So I think that's a lot of times that's a sign that you've given a wealth of information and they feel very satisfied. So that's a great thing. So if you're able to stay on, you and Jason, and if you're able to, we're going to go ahead and have Patrick will introduce Gary and then Kay, and typically the questions start coming.
Yeah, whatever you need. Because I could talk about the city forever.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, typically when the other speakers start going, there's even more questions. So that was great. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
President Patrick, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor Stoner. So our next speaker, Gary Finkelstein, is a top 5 producer and #1 millennial agent in the state for his company. With more than 75 million in sales since his rookie year in 2013, Gary is a leading expert in the very hot South Florida real estate market and will tell us why Plantation is a great place to buy. Please welcome Gary Finkelstein.
Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for having me on this panel. As most of you know, I am a Plantation resident myself. I live in historic Plantation. I've lived in this city for about 10 years, and I couldn't be happier with the location and the direction of where the city's going. In the past, we had, it wasn't really a cool city. It wasn't hip. It wasn't where I personally, as a millennial, thought that the city was going in the right direction. And now it's completely changed. I think the city, with a great mayor, has brought sexy back to our city. It's brought cool back, and it's bringing a younger age, with the age demographic being 40 years. About 5 years ago, it was 45 years, and it's continuing to go down. And some of the reasons why it's continuing to go down is because of COVID. And one of the reasons why you would say, well, why do people want to move out of the cities and move into Plantation? Well, it's because now that we can work from home, which I'm working from my home, there's always something to do in your backyard in Plantation. The average size of a lot in Plantation is probably about 10 to 15,000 square feet compared to the east side where you're looking at a 6,500, 7,500, and you're lucky to get that. There's another thing that the city does where it's known as the greenest of all the cities, where the grass is greener for a reason. The Plantation residents here love plants. They love going to fairs. They love the fact that there's parks all over the place. So you always feel safe. It's a small town where the mayor really knows everybody's name. I'm friends with the mayor. Carolyn's friends with the mayor. And we're really a tight community. This isn't like a community where nobody talks to each other. We all know each other. There's 100,000 residents here. And the prices are shooting up like rockets. Okay, there's neighborhoods that were considered not the most wanted. And now those neighborhoods, like, I'll give you an example, right where the mayor was talking about by the old Motorola, there's a neighborhood called Mirror Lake. And in Mirror Lake, 2 years ago, you could have bought something in the high twos. Now the home prices are in $500,000. So when you have such a variety of pricing and all that, it really makes you scratch your head and say, wow, this city's really going for a big boom here. I don't see a shortage of it. Anything under $1 million in our city has a complete cattle call. And what a cattle call is it's an open house and everybody shows up and there's at least 3 bids on each house. So I'm going to show you a couple cool things about our city real quick on a couple slides. And my assistant's going to pull that up real quick. Can you go back to, can you go to the other one? Sorry, guys, just bear with me.
Ask them if they can see the slides.
Can you guys see the slides?
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of this I don't particularly want to talk about. I want to talk about the other slide. And that is this property that I have here that at the price that it's listed for 1.5, this is a very famous house. It's on one of the most famous streets in Plantation. It's on Holly Lane. And this house is funny because it gives a lot of information about the city. There's a rumor that this was the house of what that was in there, something about Mary when the guy got his stuff caught in the zipper, and this was Mary's house that she grew up. It actually wasn't the house. The house that where Mary grew up was in Miami, and it's at the bottom of the screen right there. But we're talking about this house because I've received 3 offers on this property, and all of them have been cash. Now, a year ago, the price that we listed it at would have been considered crazy. But now the owner knows that he can get what he wants. So even if he didn't get his number right away, we now know that the city is still going on an upward trend where his number will eventually be what he wants, which I'm not going to disclose on this program right now. But the point of me telling you that is that on this street, there's a historical museum that holds plant fairs and all types of cool stuff. And, you know, the city's going in a fantastic direction. Do one more over. So we have here all the information from Q4 compared to Broward County inside of our city information right here. And you could just see, you know, there's a lot of money in our city. There's a lot of people that are, you know, moving into our city from out of state. And why are they moving to our city? They're moving to our city because they don't have to live in cities anymore. They want suburbs. They want a place where they can go and enjoy, you know, backyard activities with their family, all these type of, you know, fun adventures. They want to go to Heritage Park where there's movie night and food trucks, or you can go to the one that's in Plantation Acres. There's always something to do in our city. And since the values keep shooting up, the type of venues that we're going to have are going to keep shooting up. And we're really going in the right direction. I truly feel that our city's going in the right direction. It's getting young. It's getting cool. We're bringing restaurants like Palouse here. So now we're going to have more fine dining. And I'm excited about the future here. Guys have a couple questions for me real quick?
Gary, like I said, we don't see any questions at the moment. You all are doing a great job. We've got a few ones that just came in. These either might be for Gary or for the mayor. This is an easy one. Danielle Hansen says, how can we get more information on the city of Plantation? Mayor, I believe someone from your office wrote in. Nick Sortle said nicksortle@plantation.org. Mayor, would you have anything else to add where they can find some more information about what's happening and what's on track at the city of Plantation? You want to unmute first? Nope.
Stop sharing.
Mayor, want to unmute yourself?
Stop sharing.
Found it. Hearing him. Well, if anyone's interested, actually, we'll be doing a town hall meeting on May the 5th at Volunteer Park. We will have some in-person participation as well as a Zoom that will be more comprehensive. And then we will post the presentation on our website. However, you can call anytime here up at administration. If you're looking for something specific, we'll be happy to provide it. But yeah, again, May 5th will be a little more comprehensive, and but we're always available. So whatever they need.
Okay, Mayor, and another question, this might be for you or someone on your team there. Any more 12-story construction at, is it Plantation Point?
Nothing has been submitted to us at this time. Nothing. So, and I'm turning around to confirm. Is that correct? Yes, I got the thumbs up. No, we haven't seen anything of that nature. So.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to keep the mayor around and Gary still stay on, and President Patrick is going to go ahead and introduce our next speaker.
Our next speaker lives and works in the city of Plantation and is a top realtor with her company. As a board of governor for both the Broward-MIAMI board and the Miami Commercial Board, she's a busy lady as she brings a wealth of real estate knowledge and expertise to the table. Kay Konojeski. Kay will be given an update on what's happening in our local commercial market. Please welcome Kay Konojeski to the screen.
Thank you, Patrick. I hope everybody can see the screen. Good morning, everyone. Mayor Stoner, I'm gonna kind of be on your coattails with this presentation. You did an amazing job. I have lived in Plantation for 23 years and I love Plantation. I actually had a client the other day who was looking in another city who said, boy, I wish I could live in Plantation too. So we're trying to bring some great people here, not only through residential, but also commercial. It's an awesome city. So into the commercial market in Plantation. So, here we go. As the mayor said, I did put together some plantation statistics just for someone who may not be as familiar with our fine city as some that do live here. As she mentioned, our current population is almost 96,000 people. It is the city's highest recorded population in our history, and it's increased about 12.65% since the last census in 2010. Our population density is about 4,417 people per square mile, 25th largest city in Florida, and the 340th largest city in the United States. It does span 22 miles, and we are the center of Broward County, closest to all the major highways, 595, 75, 95, 441, the Florida Turnpike, you name it, we can get to it. Some of the demographics, and again, the mayor did speak about this as well, but our plantation median age is around 40 years old. The females do outnumber the males by a slight margin in Plantation. We have about 64% rate of home ownership in the city, and our household income is about 100,000 with about a 77,000 disposable income for those living here. Most people are employed in the healthcare and social assistance programs, along with retail trade and professional, just overall people. Unemployment rate is about 5% in the city. It is lower than the state overall, and actually lower than those other ones in Broward County. So now, what's happening in Plantation in the way of commercial real estate? Well, as Mayor Stoner mentioned, there's a lot happening in our city. She did speak about Plantation Walk. This is something that I know a lot of people living here are very excited for. It is on the site of the old-fashioned mall on University Drive. It's over 27 acres, and it's got 160,000 square feet of office space along with retail space. She did also mention that the phase 1 completion is scheduled for later this year, which is mixed use properties, including restaurants, office space, retail, and a 700-unit apartment complex, giving a lot of commercial realtors fantastic opportunities to bring some great clients into the city of Plantation. Phase 2 completion, I believe, is for next year, again, with the updating of the hotel, the senior residential facility, and additional restaurants and retail space. Plantation Midtown, again, kind of going on Mayor Stoner's coattails here, is at the site of the former American Express building. I have some friends that used to work in that old building, and it was sad to see it come down, but we are putting in a brand new area, and it's going to be filled with not only apartment units, but also retail and restaurant space. Completion sometime later this year. As she said, the Lakeside building is getting to be completed. There's a lot of multifamily projects happening in Plantation. She did speak of some of them. I kind of drilled into a couple more. Mill Creek, which is at the corner of Pine Island and 595, they are currently leasing. It is a 312-unit apartment complex. And then there is Strata, which are 147 townhomes. They range in size between 1,600 and 2,000 square feet. They are for sale. It is not a rental community, which is nice for those wanting to have something that is affordable in Plantation for brand new construction. And the completion is sometime later this year. Alexan 335, again, on State Road 7 and 441, completion sometime later this year. And again, in another apartment rental community, followed by Amley Park West. They have a rental community plan for Peters Road, which is west of University Drive, completion later this year. It's very similar to their Amley properties, which are in Fort Lauderdale. The assisted living facility, Plantation Palms, as the mayor spoke of, is in permit review right now. Completion sometime, I believe, later next year. It's on a 5.82 acre site on State Road 7, north of Peters Road. It's going to be 130 units with 103 for the assisted living and 27 for memory care. It will be a full facility with dining, courtyard, fitness center, salon, yoga, theater, and then, of course, our healthcare. Going into Baptist, I watched this building be built, and it is absolutely beautiful. It opened just this year. It's at 595 in Pine Island. It's 112,000 square foot wellness and medical complex that includes oncology, orthopedics and sports medicine, physical therapy, and spine care. The mayor also mentioned a few things about the restaurant space, Wawa, which is one of my favorites, corner of Broward Boulevard and State Road 7, opening this year, as well as Kalou's, again, one of my favorite restaurants that's coming to Plantation. I'm never going to have to leave this city now. It is in permit review and hopefully for completion early next year. And Starbucks, which opened last year at the corner of Broward Boulevard and Pine Island. For those looking for some great leasing space, that's an awesome location. So any commercial realtors out there that need small lease space, that's the place to look at. As the mayor did mention, under construction at the Westfield Mall was Social, proposed 201,000 square feet of retail and restaurant space. She did mention that the work had stopped, but there's a new timeline to start again. So we do hope that that project gets underway once and gets finished. Then I put some analysis together, just very high level, of some things that I pulled out of the MLS, the commercial MLS, through the Miami board. of just some active properties and some pending properties and some sold properties recently in Plantation. Just to give an idea for the price ranges, they are all over the board. If you're looking for, you know, those people that are looking for smaller price or less expensive properties, we have them. If you're looking for, you know, very high end or larger parcels, we have it as well in Plantation. Same with warehouses and industrial. We did have a couple pending properties and one that closed. Again, you can see that there is a lot going on in our city. Special use and multifamily. There is one active one that is available. It's actually a quadplex, and one that just recently closed. So again, you can see there's not a lot available in the market, but we have it here. And office and medical. Office and medical seems to be a big one, ranging in price from the 900s to over 2 million, depending on what you're looking for. But again, it just gives a very high level as to what is happening. And leases. These are just some properties that recently leased in Plantation. Again, you're looking all over the board price range. So you can go from very affordable to, again, very high end if that's what you need. The commercial outlook, very similar to what we've been hearing, you know, across the board. Multifamily is experiencing rapid growth, including sales and rental rates. You can see that from a lot of the development projects that are planned in Plantation, with a lot of multifamily being the top, the top for what we're looking at. You also have a lot of office occupancy, which has been at a loss for a lot of owners scrambling to rethink their space, with a lot of workers not returning to traditional office environments. The industrial sector will continue to increase in both sales and rentals. There's a lot of construction underway for warehouses and flex use space throughout the area. And retail and hospitality, of course, was hit hard last year, but is predicted to bounce back pretty strong later this year. And we are seeing that a lot of restaurants, including a lot coming from the Northeast, where they're moving their entire, you know, operation, is causing a huge uptick in sales and space for rentals for restaurants throughout the county and in Plantation. So that gives you an overall view. Again, Mayor Stoner, thank you so much for all the information. And again, I was happy to follow on your coattails with it. If anyone has any questions about commercial, give me a holler.
All right, well, thank you, Kay. Well, that was amazing. I think everybody has a great overall view of Plantation now. So we did have a few additional questions come in. This one's very specific, Mayor. I'm not sure if you can answer this. There was an explosion back in 2019 for the LA Fitness. Is there any thought about that reopening? I guess that's a big one there.
I actually did a tour there a few weeks ago. And so the side with the LA Fitness, they were working on the interior, and I had never been in there. Clearly, I'm not an exercise girl, but it is amazing inside. They're almost done. That will be CO'd shortly. As far as the other side, they are rebuilding. Carrabba's is not coming back. And Carolyn, we should work on you contacting the YOLO people in case they're not going into Broward Mall. They could have that end cap. It would be a great place for that. So they're still working on it, but absolutely is coming back. They're real excited about, and we've asked them to provide us with a mural on the one side of the wall that everybody sees as they go southbound on University. So our goal is now to try to incorporate a little more art in the community and the finished product. And they are very amenable to it. So it's coming back.
That's great. Thank you for that. Yeah, that was one of the first questions that came in by text. Another question for you, I believe, Mayor. South Florida is becoming a mecca for tech companies. Are there any particular ones that you know of that are moving to Plantation?
We have had some conversations that I don't want to disclose right this minute because we're still sort of in competition, but we're down as to one of the last two that are being chosen for locations. But yes, I think that that's, and our industrial park is really a piece of Plantation that I haven't gotten into the weeds on yet, because I can't really figure out, and Kay, you might be able to help us since you know these areas so well, but we need to recruit a little better for what we wanted that park to be and develop, because we do have some medical offices in there that are well known. And so we have an opportunity to maybe assemble, bring somebody in, and those types of things. So we are continuing to explore that.
Perfect, thank you. Another one, this might be for Gary. Someone asked, what are some of the new buyer trends that you're seeing now? How are the buyers different than they have been in the past several years?
Oh man, it's crazy how buyers are changing right now. The first thing I can tell you is that most FHA home buyers, which had chances all over the place, they're having a hard time right now. Anybody that doesn't have a 20% loan, I'm noticing is having a hard time. And most of those people are a younger generation, probably 40 and under, because they're getting outbid by people from out of state that are coming to our fantastic city. Something that I also noticed was a lot of luxury stuff is going on in our city. Recently, a listing in Hawks Landing is $9.5 million, which is, you think Plantation, you don't think that. But the truth is, we just had a listing that closed in Plantation Acres for over $3 million. The luxury market in our city is very high. It's an extremely high market, and most people don't figure that.
All right, thank you for that. One of the questions that came in, it's a little interesting. It says, South Florida, so many people move to South Florida because of the beaches. Plantation obviously isn't bordered on a beach. How are you all selling Plantation still, being that it's still a great city, but not a beach city?
Let me take this one real quick. So, you know, most people look at me, and I've been living in the city for 10 years. I sell a lot of real estate on the east side of town, but when I come home, it's real quiet out here. And some people want the hustle and bustle during the 9 to 5, and then they want to get the hell out of it. I'm one of those people. My biggest hobby in college was gardening. I have a grove at my house. I wouldn't be able to do that if I lived in Tarpon River or, you know, one of these neighborhoods on the east side. If I lived on the Las Olas Isles, I got to look at all my neighbors. It's very private, your backyard back here. So if you're looking for, you know, privacy, a little bit of a, you know, paradise away from the hustle and bustle, the Tri-County area in general is smaller than Los Angeles, California. And when you go snap dab in the middle, like the mayor said, you actually hit Broward Boulevard. So how is that advantageous to us? Well, I'm 15 minutes from Weston. I'm 15 minutes from Las Olas. I'm 20 minutes from Miami, and I'm 20 minutes from Boca. It is the epicenter when it comes to real estate and location and proximity in South Florida.
Gary, I think, you know, you and the mayor's office should do a nice advertising campaign for Plantation. I don't think they could say it any better than that. I know you know that, Mayor. A great question that came in, Mayor, for you is, with all this growth and explosion and changes, where do you see the city? How do you envision it within 5 to 10 years? What do you see it looking like different from it is now?
Well, it's interesting. One of the reasons I got on the MPO when I got elected was I wanted more information on traffic. And I certainly can't change the traffic, but we can learn how to manage and move it better. And so we have adaptive lighting on the list that's being designed right now, which I'm thrilled about, and that'll be for University Drive. You know, I want to, again, I grew up here. I went to high school at Plantation High. All my kids are Plantation residents. And although one just did move to Loxahatchee for her horse, but I still feel like she lives here, because when I call her, it's like, Liz, can you come over? And she's down here in an hour. But I still think with council's assistance, we're very careful about what we bring to the table for consideration. And I think most developers understand that, no matter what city it is. but we do have a certain sense, and everybody says, well, it's changed. Well, yeah, we're not 16 anymore, running around with no responsibilities. We're adults with responsibilities, and so then we view the city a little differently. But I see us making progress. I see us coming down the road. I see us exploring areas, including that industrial area that have sort of been pushed off to the side. And we've made great strides for State Road 7, which is truly the entry to our city. So I'm real excited in the direction right now. So.
Perfect. Another question that came in, and I think you all can answer this. If you can't, it's okay. A couple people asked, if someone was to be an investor in Plantation, where would you recommend? What's a great starter place to invest in Plantation? Either Mayor, Kay, and Gary. All of you or one of you could answer that.
I actually just purchased a property in Plantation yesterday as an investment. It was under 150,000. Okay, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, right behind the Riverside Market Plantation. I live down the block from there. So if you can buy a property, right, for 20% down, and it's within walking distance to $1 million homes, you tell me if that's a good investment.
Mayor Kay?
And you know what, from the commercial side, there's a lot of opportunity here. So if you're a small business owner, you know, wanting to get started, or maybe you have another shop or salon or something in another city and you want to experiment in Plantation, we've got a lot of wonderful places popping up all over that, you know, you can get for a very affordable price. So Plantation is still affordable for a lot of things.
Absolutely. It's very affordable, and even single family houses, there's still stuff that you can get in great neighborhoods under 400,000 that need a little bit of rehab, and the home could be worth 500,000. I'm doing it myself. I do it on the east side of town, so I can really get the gauges of what makes a great investment and what doesn't. So fantastic.
Go on what Gary said, Plantation's like a neighborhood. It's a big city. It's got a lot happening, but it's still a neighborhood. So, you know, even though we're not at the beach, you know, we're the real people that live here. We're the real people that work here, and we're the real people that shop here. So we're not the transient folks. We are the guys that are here day in and day out, and this is our city. So yeah, very affordable and a lot of opportunity.
Oh. Mayor, do you have anything else to add to that? Otherwise, we have another question coming in.
I'm thrilled. I think all right, you can ask the question, but I am thrilled with the comments because I feel those things myself. And every day, my staff will tell you, Jason will tell you, every day I have a new idea. I drive them nuts, but it's, you know, when you see possibilities, and I'm all about possibilities and options, let's talk them out all the way and see where we end up with it. And that's part of the joy of this particular position. And so soon we've got a workshop scheduled with council to actually discuss a little more detail about what they're seeing in the city, what the kind of things that they would like to see us pursue. So, you know, it's got to be a total effort on everybody's part, but we do a lot of the footwork here first, which is, and the other person, and we haven't really talked about, is the chamber. The chamber has been amazing. During COVID, we relaxed our sign rules, and the chamber assisted in that. And we promoted our small businesses. And we really, and they pivoted. Gosh, they did such a great job. So I'm really proud of everybody. You know, I know we're all tired of COVID. I know we are all so over it. But I said at the beginning, I thought that our businesses were strong enough to hang in there and maybe come out on this other side where we're getting to now in an even stronger position. And that's what I've seen from a lot of the businesses. I mean, our residents stepped up to support our local businesses. And so I couldn't be prouder of everybody for their efforts and how we got here.
Very good. All right, well, we have two more specific questions, and we always end with a fun question for you all, as all of our panelists. And then President Patrick will have a few closing words. I'm not sure who can answer this one. Well, we'll start with this one first. Are there plans to build on the vacant land owned by the school board on Broward and Hiatus? Does anyone know that? Plans to build on the vacant land owned by the school board on Broward and Hiatus. Mayor?
There is, in fact, a Lennar is looking to build there. They have submitted one site plan which was not received well by the residents and or the planning and zoning board. However, they have gone back to the table, so to speak, and have met with planning and zoning. So that's a reduced site plan as to what they were going to put in there. And they're single family versus townhome. So, but that has not come back yet to the planning and zoning board, although they were denied. So they have to bring it next to council. So I have no idea when that is going to be scheduled.
Got it. Okay, thank you, Mayor. And another question, I'm not sure, Gary or Mayor, how are the Plantation aisle prices on homes? Plantation.
I got this one, Mayor. Last year, there was a property that was on the water. So a lot of people don't know about the city of Plantation has ocean access properties, and that's towards the southeastern quadrant of the city. And you can get to the ocean. There's no fixed bridges. There's like, you know, quite a few homes over there. Last year, I was going to buy a property and I couldn't tell if I was going to do it or not. It was $398,000. That property, non-renovated today, would go easily for $525,000. In a neighborhood that we never thought we would see sevens, we're seeing 3-bedroom, 2-bath, all the way in the high 6s over there, as long as they're on the ocean access side. And some of the properties go well into the 7s, depending on the square footage. We're getting a lot of $200 to $400 a square foot on the east side of Plantation. Those are extremely high numbers. Those are Fort Lauderdale numbers for a little suburb town that they call us.
All right. Thank you all. Now, our final question, we love to ask this of our local expert panelists. And then, as I said, President Patrick will end with a few final words, but this always comes up. As residents and purveyors of the town, what is your favorite restaurant or go-to place that you would recommend? And sometimes you can't answer because you have allegiance, but maybe you can do one or two. But what's your favorite go-to place, hidden gem or well-known in Plantation? One of you start, and Carolyn, you're going to be included in this as well.
Oh man, I have so many.
Your top two, Kay. All right, we'll go with Carolyn first. She's ready to roll.
Well, we love Italian food, and for the longest time, Vignetto's was in another location, which I used to go to many years ago. I've lived in this town for 45 years, and Vignetto's moved to the newer shopping center that Stiles built, where some people would know it as the McDonald's shopping center. It's where the IHOP used to be. But Vignetto's is a great Italian restaurant, and the food and the service is consistently great.
Carolyn, next up, one of you.
All right, I'll go with J. Alexander's. I love it. It's the best. It's at the corner. It's always my go-to, and they have that great prime rib sandwich.
They also have a great carrot cake, I think, hands down.
Yes, they do.
I'll say it. Okay.
I was trying to avoid the calories.
Okay, Gary, and then we'll end
it begins and ends with Jacaranda Pizza. It's a family staple in the neighborhood. It's family owned. I absolutely love going there. I bring my family all the time. And when it comes to a lunch date for possible business or a lunch date with somebody, Mustard Seed Bistro is usually pretty clutch. They got fantastic cupcakes there. for dessert, it would be a good restaurant in any city, let alone our small city of Plantation.
All right, now, Mayor, it's all eyes on you, all eyes and ears, Mayor.
Well, anybody that knows me knows I'm not high maintenance. So for the last year, Jason Nunemacher, our Assistant City Administrator Carol, and myself go to the Plantation Diner for our lunch.
Yep.
They know that Jason and I eat the same thing. We've done it for a year. They don't even ask us. So mine is a cheese omelet and a bowl of oatmeal. And Jason always has a cheeseburger, well done, and fries. And if you ever saw him, he's like a stick. But I went in one day and I didn't ask for the oatmeal. 3 people are coming by. What's wrong? Why aren't you doing it? Well, I had oatmeal at home this morning. But that's sort of been our safe place. We've gone to 1 or 2 different restaurants recently, but for the full year, it was pretty much Plantation Diner to go out to. It wasn't a delivery or, Jesus, I looked at my bank statement the other day and I'm like, I'm spending a flaming fortune on food and Uber Eats and all this kind of stuff. I got to start cooking again. So we want more restaurants, but what we have is home. It's family. We're familiar and we know the people. And so we're comfortable. And I couldn't ask for more than that. But, you know, although I mentioned my cheese omelet at 10:30 in the morning and I'm ready.
Well, that is the perfect last question. And we had a lot of great comments about that. So we're going to end with President Patrick giving a few final words about a few key upcoming events. And we thank you all. And Patrick will give a final thanks as well. This has been amazing.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys. And I appreciate it. Very grateful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to extend a personal thank you to all our panelists. The presentations were dynamic. I'm also excited to see and grateful to see the amount of the attendance, the massive attendance we have. Every month we just get more and more, right? So I'm going to challenge everybody on board here today that the next one we have is going to be May 13th. Invite 5 people that you don't know. I'm certainly sure that you know 5 people that I don't know. Invite them, right? So as Daniel said, we have a couple of things upcoming. On Thursday, May 13th, we're going to be featuring the city of Coral Springs. And on June the 17th, we'll be in Hallandale. And next, as you see, it's on the screen right now. So it's mark your calendars. Thursday, May 13th, Coral Springs, June 17th, Thursday for Hallandale. We also have, you also know that in this business, it's sometimes not about what you know, but who you know, correct? So we have these monthly business after hours. What a better invitation to connect with your fellow peers and top producers, leaders in this industry. So on Thursday, May 27th, we'll be in the southeast portion of the county. We'll be at Plug-in Karaoke at Gulfstream Park in Hallandale. Usually is about from 5 to 7. Please try to support. With that said, guys, Broward Miami Realtors rock. I can't say anything more. I'm truly gracious. I'm sure Danielle, I always call her my boss. She leads, I want to thank her for leading the Broward Miami Realtors. She's the chief of operations for Broward Miami and Jupiter Tequesta. So thank you, Danielle. Guys, thank you very much. And I'll see you on May 13th.
Thank you all, rockstar panel today, as always. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day, and thank you all for joining us.
Go Gators.
The Crimson Tigers.